This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I will never forget the day that I sang that song. I was standing in front of hundreds of grieving people, and other than the sound of someone sniffling or that gentle buzz of the AC unit blowing, you could have heard a pin drop. My mouth was bone dry, and there was sweat just dripping down the back of my shaking legs, and one of my brothers had his hand on my back, just trying to help me stand steady. It took everything in me to stand steady that day. You know, we all dream of things that we want to do or places that we want to go, but who in their right mind dreams about giving the eulogy for somebody that they love? I wasn't ready for this. I wasn't ready for that phone call that came, or the incredible pain and loss that I'd feel. I wasn't ready for my sister-in-law, Michelle Riveron Bereneche, to die. Let's face it, old people are supposed to die, not 40-something-year-olds. And to make things even crazier, just 3 weeks and 6 days earlier, I was in that same church, sitting in the same hard pew with her. But this time, for the funeral of my 2 cousins, Ricky and Maituka Rovirosa, who were killed in the Surfside building collapse in Miami Beach. So as I'm standing there looking out at all these people, I'm thinking to myself, good God, you have no idea when your time is up. Girl, your light's going to have to shine even brighter now because there are still so many lives left for you to impact. And you know, we all think we've got all the time in the world, but the truth is, you ain't guaranteed the next 5 minutes, let alone the next week. Case in point. In April 2015, I am living the life of my dreams. I was on staff in a church. I was at the height of my career in music ministry. My band was scheduled to go out on tour. And I just brought home my itty bitty little newborn baby boy, Noah. I wasn't even home 4 days from the hospital when I got sick. Really, really sick. And I will never forget Dr. Jacobson looking me right in the eyes and saying these 6 words with his very thick French accent. Carolina, you're lucky to be alive. Friends, I had plans. Touring a hospital and almost dying from group B strep, sepsis, and a C. difficile infection were not one of them. But what I didn't realize was that in that moment, I was actually being given a gift. It just came wrapped in some god-awful wrapping paper. But more on that in a moment. I learned something recently that is really shocking. Despite having access to clean drinking water and good healthy food and great medical care, the average lifespan of American adults is significantly dropping. In fact, researchers are now saying, and this is crazy, that a baby boy born today only has the projected lifespan of 73 years. And a girl, it's not much better. It's 79. And this 6-year gap between the sexes, I mean, we already know men are from Mars, women are from Venus, but this 6-year gap between male and female is the largest it's been since 1996. I graduated high school in 1996. That was 28 years ago. But shh, we'll keep it a secret, right, Ted? Shh. In August 2023, Dr. Stephen Wolf, he's the director emeritus at the VCU Center on Society and Health, said that when it comes to our lifespan, it's the lowest it's been in 20 years. It's dropped the last 2 years in a row, and it's being driven by an increase in deaths amongst children and teens and in adults between the ages of 25 and 64. That is so young. Now, many of these deaths are coming from what they're labeling as deaths of despair. So things like drug overdose and alcohol abuse, and sadly, even suicide. But many of these deaths are coming from cardiometabolic disease like diabetes, or from obesity-related disease like certain cancers, liver, kidney, and heart disease, and even depression and anxiety. And what's so sad is that so many of these things are preventable. I have a saying, your genetics load the gun, but your lifestyle pulls that trigger. And as a corporate wellness speaker and holistic health coach, I see this all the time. From the moment we get up in the morning till the moment our head hits the pillow at night, it's go, 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 go. And we're on autopilot, fighting fires all day, every day, until something forces us to come to a complete and total stop. Just like it did for me. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can either continue living the rest of your life on autopilot, just going through the motions all day, every day. Or you can carpe the freaking diem. I said earlier that when I got sick, I was given a gift. And I will be completely honest, I did not see it like that for a long, long time. Because I had plans, and it really screwed those plans up. But something happened to me when I was laying in the hospital bed, and I made 2 choices. Actually, I made 3. First, I cried my eyes out, and I let myself feel really, really angry. Second, I chose to lean into my faith like never before. And third, I then completely opened myself up to all the good that could possibly come out of this god-awful situation. The journey that I went on over the next 30 months to completely heal my body was wild. I ended up deciding to leave my career in music ministry, a career I loved, that I wanted since I was 9 years old when I saw Amy Grant in concert rocking out on a guitar. And I decided to go back to university to study holistic healthcare. The very thing I used to snub my nose at. Yet even working in the field of health and wellness, where stress management and mindfulness is that ultimate prize, it is the Willy Wonka golden ticket, I too somehow end up on autopilot for several years. I was so busy trying to do and be all the things society was screaming in my ears, all while never feeling like I could ever measure up to all those unrealistic expectations. Until death came a knocking at my door. Again. This time not for me, but for 3 of my family members, one right after the next. And had I not realized these things, I'd be facing another death. Not the death of another person per se, but the death of the kind of woman that I wanted to be. The kind of woman I knew I was called, divinely called to be. You'd think I would have seen all this when I got so sick. You'd think I would have made some radical changes. And I did eventually, to my diet, my lifestyle, but my heart never changed. I was so wrapped up in keeping up that this little light of mine, it was not gonna shine. So let me ask you, what would your life be like if you chose to come off the autopilot and live the rest of your unguaranteed days radically intentional? As I was standing there in front of all these grieving people giving that eulogy, I knew I needed to start thinking and living very differently. Because that countdown clock on my days, that thing started ticking the day I was born. So again, let me ask you. Your countdown clock is ticking also. So again, what would you do differently? What conversations would you have that maybe you've been putting off? Would you stay in your same career? Go do something different. Who would you forgive? What if this way of thinking and living is what actually allows you to make that kind of impact you've always wanted to make in your life? And what if this way of thinking and living is what actually opens the door for you to lead the most fulfilling life possible? One that is not dependent on circumstances or the stupid trends of the day. Well, you just have to try to find out now, won't you? So make your choice and go shine accordingly. Thank you.